They weren't just gangs, they were nations without borders. From the blood-soaked jungles of Colombia to the neon underworld of Tokyo, these crime syndicates didn't just make money, they printed it. They toppled governments, bribed generals, and bought cities in cash. The Yakuza inked their dominance across Japan, while the Russian Mafia sank its claws into oil, banks, and bullets. And in Mexico, the Sinaloa Cartel became more powerful than the police, the army, and maybe even the president. Welcome back to the channel. Before we dive into the Empire of Shadows, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell icon so you never miss our latest exposés on crime, power, and hidden history. The Yakuza, $80 billion. In the heart of Tokyo, behind glass skyscrapers and the polished silence of business suits, thrives one of the world's most powerful crime machines, the Yakuza. With an estimated combined revenue of $80 billion, the Yakuza is not just a criminal syndicate, it's a corporation of fear. Unlike most gangs, they operate in plain sight. Their offices have business cards, their members file taxes, but their methods? Pure underworld. Extortion, human trafficking, drugs, gambling, arms smuggling, you name it, the Yakuza runs it. The Yamaguchi-gumi, the largest Yakuza clan, boasts over 8,000 full-time members and tens of thousands of affiliates. They wear tailored suits, drive Bentleys, and run construction companies, nightclubs, and entire entertainment districts. Their influence spreads across Japan, South Korea, and even Los Angeles. Their bosses live like feudal lords, penthouse condos, fleets of exotic cars, and private hot springs guarded by ex-special forces. And then there's the ink. Their full-body tattoos are not just art, they're armor. Each inch tells a story of pain, honor, and bloody ascension. Yet even with luxury comes brutality. For those who break the code, punishment is swift and severe. Fingers get severed, families vanish. But despite decades of crackdowns, the Yakuza endure, silent, wealthy, and watching. The Sinaloa Cartel, $40 billion. Deep in the Sierra Madre Mountains of Mexico, behind fortified ranches and heavily armed compounds, rose an empire that turned drugs into diamonds, the Sinaloa Cartel. Estimated to have earned over $40 billion, this syndicate became a narco superpower. Led by Joaquin El Chapo Guzman and Ismael El Mayo Zambada, the cartel mastered logistics like Fortune 500 firms. They moved cocaine, meth, heroin, and fentanyl through tunnels, submarines, and even refrigerated trains. Their engineers built narco labs. Their accountants cleaned billions through real estate and fake shell companies. Luxury was their second language. El Chapo's hideouts featured gold-plated bathtubs, champagne fridges, and zoo animals. His men rolled in armored SUVs with rocket launchers stashed in the trunks. Their homes had panic rooms, their shoes, Italian leather. But their greatest weapon, corruption. They bought off police, prosecutors, judges, even cabinet ministers. In one wiretap, El Chapo casually jokes about bribing presidents. Though El Chapo now rots in US prison, the cartel lives on. It's evolved into a hydra spreading across continents. In the Sinaloa Cartel, wealth isn't just power, it's war fuel. The Russian Mafia, $85 billion. After the fall of the Soviet Union, chaos ruled the streets. But from that collapse rose a new class of gangsters, the Russian Mafia, or Bratva. They weren't just thugs, they were ex-KGB, ex-commandos, and businessmen with ice in their veins. By the mid-1990s, the Bratva had their hands on $85 billion in assets. Oil companies, aluminum plants, shipping lines, and banks. They didn't just launder money, they washed it through entire economies. With tattoos carved in prison and etiquette forged in violence, the Bratva became the most feared gang in Europe. Their leaders, men like Semyon Mogilevich, dubbed the Brainy Don, wore Armani suits and drank vodka in private clubs overlooking Moscow's skyline. They bought villas in Spain, casinos in the Caribbean, and politicians in Washington. From human trafficking to arms dealing, cybercrime to art theft, no corner of crime was untouched. The Bratva even ran global phishing schemes and crypto heists, stealing millions with a keyboard instead of a gun. And yet their true power? Silence. They don't do interviews. They vanish behind shell companies and private security. They are the ghosts in the global machine. The Ndrangheta, $60 billion. You've heard of the Sicilian Mafia, but have you heard of their richer, deadlier cousins? Meet the Ndrangheta, Italy's most powerful crime syndicate, with an empire estimated at $60 billion. From the hills of Calabria, they control 80% of Europe's cocaine trade. Unlike the flashy Cosa Nostra, the Ndrangheta thrives on secrecy. They run family-style clans called Ndrangheta, where blood is thicker than bullets. Their wealth flows from drugs, extortion, and rigged contracts. But it's their investments that shock economists. The Ndrangheta owns luxury resorts in Tuscany, restaurants in Germany, and vineyards in France. Their cash is laundered through construction firms, banks, and fake charities. Their bosses live in fortified estates with bodyguards and bunkers. Some never leave their compounds, running global operations from hidden command centers. Their weddings are guarded by snipers, their funerals by helicopters. Despite hundreds of arrests, the Ndrangheta survives because it's not just a gang, it's a network of families, bonded by oaths and blood. And their money? It's everywhere, including places you'd never suspect. The Medellin Cartel, $30 billion. In the 1980s, Pablo Escobar didn't just rule Colombia, he ruled cocaine. His Medellin Cartel, Escobar made $420 million a week. He spent $2,500 a month on rubber bands to hold his cash. His stash houses were so full of cash, rats ate $1 billion a year. He built private zoos, a personal prison, and a 7,000-acre estate with a runway. His cars were armored, his watch, a Rolex made of platinum and cocaine dust. But he also played Robin Hood. He built homes for the poor, handed out cash on the streets, and sponsored soccer leagues. People called him El Patron, the boss. Yet power, that grand, has a cost. Escobar's reign left over 4,000 dead. Judges, cops, politicians, even a presidential candidate. In 1993, he was gunned down on a Medellin rooftop. But his cartel's influence lives on, fractured into smaller cells still feeding the global appetite for white powder. These syndicates weren't just criminal networks. They were shadow governments. Their GDPs rivaled small nations. Their tactics outpaced police. Their leaders lived like emperors without thrones. They built palaces from fear, fortunes from blood, and their wealth continues to shape the world in ways most people never see. If you thought this was intense, wait until we reveal the private armies, secret islands, and black market empires of the next global kingpins. Drop a comment below. Tell us whose story blew your mind, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell.